To feel or not to feel? That is the question. I grew up in a post-communist Romania where men weren't really allowed to feel their emotions. My father only ever showed two emotions: happiness, expressed through laughter, and anger, expressed through screaming and shouting. Who has had a similar experience? All right, me too, me too. I remember telling my father once, "Dad, I think I have depression." To which he responded, "What depression, child? Depression is Western propaganda for people who have it all too well. Stop with this nonsense and go back to study." So I went. A few years later, I was in America studying at one of the top universities, but clinically diagnosed with depression and put on antidepressants. But see, the problem with those little pills is that they didn't make me feel better. They just made me feel numb. I wanted to feel my emotions. I wanted to express my emotions. And that's how I discovered psychedelics. It was the perfect way for me to feel all of my emotions and to express them in marvelous ways. So I rebelled. I rebelled against the system that got me depressed in the first place, against the people and places, and fueled with a plethora of emotions, I started traveling. I was living a dream, going from festival to festival, working on a weed farm. I even got to Burning Man. Man, life was so good. And about 13 states and 9 countries later, somewhere along the way, I started shifting from psychedelics to spirituality. And that's how I got to Bali and eventually to India, where I met this wonderful angel in a breathwork training. After a few months into our relationship, she told me that, "Cosmo, you're so feminine. You're feeling your emotions so much." And I was faced with this question: to feel or not to feel? You see, on one hand, I had the image of my dad, a sorry, sad, grumpy old man. And on the other hand, it was me, the blue-haired, curly mustache, kimono-wearing psychedelic wizard. The literal embodiment of psychedelics. But how? How do I change? What do I need to do? I asked my inner self, my higher self. And the masculine came out and started putting together the pieces. I cut my mustache. Check. Let my hair grow back to normal. Check. Go to Zara and buy normal clothes, for God's sake. Okay. Check. But the feelings. What about my feelings? You see, emotions are the key to all of this because emotion generates feeling. We need emotion to comprehend the non-physical, which is why emotions have been so controlled upon this planet. How, you ask? Through fear. We are afraid to feel our emotions. We're afraid of what people might say if we start all of a sudden feeling, and we keep ourselves locked in a cage day after day and don't allow us to feel the emotion. You see, when you allow yourself to feel your emotions and you move past judgment and into love, marvelous things start to happen. Now, what did I do with my original emotions? I still express them, just not so long, and for faster. I have learned ways to transmute these emotions into power. And from that feminine guy, I might have been along my psychedelic journey a little bit of wizard here and there. I think I did pretty well, right? Let's take a deep breath and let that sink in. My name is Cosmo, and I encourage you to feel your emotions.